Welcome back, everybody. So we're here with an update with Robin Hood, the Realme in action yesterday at Grimsby Court. So this isn't theory, this is remedy in real time. So today's episode, we're just going to cover what's happening and has been happening on the ground, from court corruption to constitutional correction. So yesterday we all went to the court. There was about 25 of us, and it was a blatant denial of access to the public gallery. There was police presence and refusal to acknowledge us ultimately and or let us into the public gallery. But let's not be deceived. You know, the deception of public v private. There is no general public in corporate courts. We are the people. They are corporate entities. So we attempted to take in a natural common law jury of 12. And under the Juries Act, and how we are using that and why it is so powerful. So we were denied due process. The jurisdiction was swapped, and how the system swaps jurisdictions to commit this legal fraud upon us. So again, what can we do? You know, we were there to stand as witness, to support. You know, we got involved. We were boots on the ground to try and restore lawful remedy. So this is a vital lesson for anyone who's ready to move from ultimately knowing the problem to living the solution. So without further ado, I'll hand it over to Robin Hood. You can give a more detailed version of how we got on yesterday and with the corruption at the court. Robin, are you there?
I am. Thank you very much. I've just sent you a quick email. So this is what I want to show you. And this is the illegal conversion that's going off. Now, today, I consider yesterday a victory of sorts. Purely and because it now exposes the judge. Judge Curtis will be issued a treason indictment on Monday, right, or Tuesday. I'm not going to put it out there on social media, but it will be issued and it will be broadcast. Okay? The Treason Act 1351 is still in force. Treason under the Bill of Rights is still in force. Treason under the 1701 Securities and Successions Act is still in force. And high treason by issuing and uttering, knowing it to be false from a false jurisdiction, a false state. Now, what happened yesterday is they banned us from the court. He lied about me, and I'm going to give a full affidavit on that to the courts on Monday. They banned people from bearing witness to the court, which they cannot do. I've already this morning, and it's only 11:15, been on to the court for 2 hours. I've been speaking to the court. They're quite dismayed, to be honest. I've been through certain things, and I shall now be going through even more things with the court. The council's criminal prosecution barrister, there's no CPS in the courts anymore, they're all private prosecutions. And he told me that himself.
Wow.
And he even confirmed that he's registered to the Gray's Inn in the inner city of London. Can't be that either, because he's there to conduct business. Nothing more. The judge has stated for fact on video there is no constitution in his court. When I've just mentioned that to the ICOJ, was extremely shocked. And I'm willing to give an affidavit to that fact. And I even confirmed I called the judge a cunt, an ignorant cunt. Excuse my French. I even confirmed today that I gave under an affidavit of truth in verbal terms, that when I issued as evidence to the council's own criminal prosecution barrister, here's the Bill of Rights, here's the Magna Charta. No, we don't stand up, we don't even recognise them. That's his exact words. What are they? When I asked him if he knew if this was a constitutional court, a constitutional monarchy court, what's that?
Yeah.
And this is why they do it. If you can put up the Companies Act 2006, Section 7LQ.
Yeah. bear with me 1 second, everybody. Here we are. Here we go. Just let me know when you can see it.
No. Yeah, yes-ish.
Okay, Companies Act 2006.
Right, if you can scroll it down a bit. There we go. Stop there. Right, if you can zoom in a bit, it'll be good. If not, don't worry about it. I'll read it out. Registrable persons' duty to maintain verified identity status. A registered person in relation to a company must ensure that throughout the relevant period they maintain the status of a person who identifies is verified. See section 1110A. So that means your driving license, your birth certificate, your passport, all your state documents. You've now just been illegally converted into a corporation. Beginning with the incorporation of a company in a case where the person becomes a registrable person on its incorporating for the application for registration for the company includes a statement under section 12B2 is respect of a person. Section 2, the delivery to the registrar is now up to his neck in it, of a statement in respect of the person under section 790LB1. In a case where the person becomes a registrable person after the incorporation of the company and such a statement was delivered to the registrar. That means every person of the administrative birth certificate, which we all know about, we all know you've got your personams, is now registered as a corporation. Every one of us. And that's now what's going off in the courts. And that proved it yesterday. That is called an illegal conversion into a corporate fiction, so you can interface with another corporate fiction, i.e. the courts, the council, the man in the moon, the electric company, the water company, the gas company, because otherwise you can't interface with them. They can't speak to you. You can't speak to them. You speak a foreign language. Now, by this trickery and magic, they've now converted us all into registration companies through your identity of the state. As to Archibald 2025, it is classed as a legal conversion. You cannot remove the sovereignty or sovereign status of the people of England. But as we are no longer English via the British Act 1947-81, you are categorised as British. You are now a British slave with the wrong identity. Yes. Your passports, your driving licence, UK or EU corporate identities. Yeah. Therefore, kick them back. Your voting rights, who you're voting for. The law books clearly state the state only issues documentation in personam identity. There is no vote. So stop doing it. Return it. Why do you think there's a massive panic on at the minute? Why do you think everybody's coming out? Blah, 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 blah. It's this, it's that. The Constitution doesn't exist. Yes, it does. It's still there. Look it up. It's in force today. They cannot repeal it. Yeah. Magic court cases. Betty Boothroyd, 1993, stated you cannot repeal the Bill of Rights or any of the inalienable documents. None of them.
Well, and the judge isn't going to recognise it in a bar court because the bar's the bank. It's the legal.
It's a commerce
doesn't
court.
Want that in his court. Yeah, exactly. It's a commercial private court.
Commercial private court. All courts now are commercial and private. Therefore, you walk in, you take your birth certificate, and you go, right then, take it out of that. That's not to do with me. I'm the sovereign. Do you understand? If you don't understand, I'm out of here, Judge.
Yeah.
That's the way to deal with these corrupt. Oh, and by the way, here's your indictment for treason by calling me the man by illegal conversion in breach of the Treason Act 1351, in breach of the violation and usurpation of the Bill of Rights. Parliament are now up to their neck in treason.
Yeah.
They produced this act to remove us from the land and put us into the fictitious realm.
And I believe the judge, didn't he, Robin, said to you that he didn't appreciate it being on social media that we were indicting him for treason, which shows they are keeping an eye on us. And that's why they moved the time, didn't they? They moved the time of the case because they knew that we were coming. You know, and the thing is, it just goes to show, doesn't it? It's like what I said to you on the phone this morning. It's like, well, stop being a fraudulent motherfucker then.
The problem is they can't.
What are we supposed to do? We the people have got to hold these people accountable. Else who's going to do that, you know? Yeah.
And this is the point now. I've now mentioned to the ICOJ and other bodies this morning that the 5 indictments were issued. They even changed the case number.
Yes.
So they changed the case number. They've changed the time so that they could conduct their business without any, Then they barred me from the courts. They had 2 police officers waiting and a van load of police officers waiting at the back, which I saw pull in.
Yeah. And I was there, so I can bear witness to this.
Right? There were 2 police officers in the courtroom to intimidate, to bar the public from bearing witness of their commerce court. Now, here you go. Here's a beautiful maxim that was relayed to the barrister, right? And he didn't even know what it was. I said, you're aware of the maxims, natural common law maxim. A legal fiction is bound by legislation and statutory duty. Man is not. What do you see here? Men and women or statutory identities? What? I said, okay, we'll go on to another one then. Legal fiction is wrongful when it works loss or injury to any man. Says, what are you? He says, what are loss or what loss or injury? I said, well, we study here, time, effort, money. I said, then you're going to try and take her in there and fine her to death by a legal fiction. Here we go. Here's one. A claim made in a name of a fictitious plaintiff, North Lincolnshire Council, is contempt of court. Black's Law Dictionary reference sections, editions 4, 5, and 6. Later, it confirms in later editions, it is corrupt by misinformation and political correctness and gives legal fictions greater importance than they have at proper law.
Yeah.
It was given that. I said, who is bringing the case? Where is their authority to bring the case? Where is the PSC? Where is the man to bring the claim? It doesn't work like that. I said, no, what do in a commerce court? No. Is this a constitutional monarchy court? What's that? That's what his exact word. I don't understand that. I said, you do realise, and I'm declaring now, fiction is fiction is fiction is fiction. Ad I, AB, infinity. Fraud is fraud is fraud is fraud, AB, infinity. This case is fraud. And that's when he ran off. So they were giving all these in person, and this is why they were running around like headless chickens, which you compare. And this is when the judge barred everybody out of the court.
Yeah, and you know, it's funny, not funny, isn't it? Because the clerk of the court, which as we know isn't a true clerk of the court, it's that she's now just a legal advisor. She didn't even, you know, no offence, love, no, you asked from your elbow, really. And when he just said he just doesn't want us there, that's what they said. He just doesn't want us there. I said, but what sort of authority is he quoting to do that? And she went, I'll go ask him. The whole thing was, farcical and funny if it wasn't so serious.
Yep. We asked on day 30 before the case, day 20, day 10, day 12, we asked for the judge's bond and oath to be surrendered. To ensure he had jurisdiction, I asked upon the day, and I asked for the court's seal. The real seal. It's on the wall. I says B&M over the road. Does that mean that's a seal? Oh, look, there's cement works going past. Does that mean that's a royal seal? I said, I want the seal now, before anything goes ahead. And as you saw, they forced her into the court on her own. Right? Failed to give a representation, failed to conduct, to summons the witnesses that was requested, and failed in full due process of law. So the judge himself, he who conceals a fraud perpetrates the fraud himself. The judge is now guilty of that maxim.
Yeah.
Out of fraud, no actions can arise. So that's the void order done there. Just in them, never mind any other maxims or any other laws, but there will be natural law going in, which were already given. And what have you. They've charged 4,500 quid for their legal work, for the amount of work and paperwork that was put in. And the one thing you've got to understand, the council still haven't rebutted 4 affidavits that went in or paid their £3 million outstanding debt that they will now be issued again and given the last opportunity to cure. Again, that will be filmed, that will be done. So everybody can see it, that the council is now nothing more than a private corporation working for the state to extract monies to pay for war. All these boat people that are coming in, they're here by invite to become a state slave through the Companies Act. That's all it is.
Yeah.
Right? The judge is now charged with treason, right? Because no man can be judge in his own cause. So, who do you think put a cost order in against it? The judge, £2,500. Okay, so he's now stood in his own cause. Judge thyself before judging others. Oh dear, Mr. Judge. Wait till you see this public forum then. You now, Mr. Curtis, are now to be indicted on treason matters. The courts have been informed. The IOJ has been informed. The criminal courts have been informed. You breached human rights directives. You breached international treaty directives. You will face hell on earth now for what you did yesterday. And all judges who sit in these ghost courts, because that's all they are.
Yeah.
They're now having to be, they've even confirmed it's on the old system. They were trying to hide the case. This is why I tried 5 hours on Friday to confirm the case was going ahead after I put the estoppel in.
Yeah.
They ignored it. They ignored the stop. This is how desperate they are becoming.
Yeah.
Right?
The level of ignorance in those places, I mean, other than those that do know what they're doing, is palpable. I mean, it's farcical, really. Like I say, if there wasn't such consequences to us all and everyone, which is why, boots on the ground are so important, to not just kind of talk the talk, but as you do, walk the walk,
We are there, and this is why I didn't want anybody kicking off. Yes, we could have stormed the courts. Yes, we could have done this and that. But this would not get us where we are today. So it is not a loss. It is a massive victory because the judge did and the CPS or council did exactly what I anticipated those things to do. Right? It is done. And the fact that what the judge has now got himself into is this. Because the judge never surrendered his oath or bond for jurisdiction, he's now in massive trouble under the judiciary rules, right? It was asked for 5 times and not being supplayed, right? So now, as to the maxim of law, he who does not make oath is worth nothing. A man's word, and this is the actual quote, the word of a man who will not make oath is not to be heard.
Yeah, a man's word is his bond, as they say.
Correct. Therefore, the judge now, void order, the judge never declared his oath. Therefore, what he has stated in the court is void. Right?
Yeah.
True fears nothing except concealment. We've asked for the records and recordings of the 2 strikeout hearings that were held under constitutional norms. The judge laughed, stated that she could have me as a lawful representation and then wouldn't let me speak, and told her to go sell her soul to go to get a solicitor who cannot act for the just in rem sovereign people because they only can act in the commerce world.
Yeah.
So knowing that, and that's in their own SRA handbook, he knew what he was doing.
Yeah.
Right? So this is where they've got. An affidavit must be rebutted line by line, in substance by affidavit.
Yeah.
An affidavit stands as its own court.
Yeah.
Right? This is what they're trying to get you to forget.
Yeah.
Now, I just mentioned this.
Commercial maxim, isn't it? It's commercial maxim, isn't it? An affidavit stands as truth and fact in commerce.
Yeah. So basically, this is where we get them now. So we mix our jurisdictions and make it clear. This is our constitution. This is your commercial maxims. You've just breached them all. The man behind the bullshit is now liable because I'm now lifting the corporate veil.
Yeah.
A legal fiction is wrongful when it works loss or injury to any man. A legal fiction is bound by legislation and statutory duty. Man is not. What do they bring everybody to court on now? Legislation, acts, or statutory duty. There is no law to be broken because they're not running on law. And this is what this has now proven, that they've allowed a fictional entity to bring a claim, fraud. They've allowed for everybody to act and stand in their own cause. Fraud. They've concealed a fraud by the illegal conversion. And the beauty of this is this maxim, once a fraud, always a fraud.
What would you say? Can I ask you?
Go on, mate.
Oh, I was going to ask you as well, because some people say, obviously, you know, they're in fraud on fraud on fraud upon fraud.
Yep.
Because we've used the birth certificate, which is obviously Crown copyright, and it actually says on it, obviously, you can't use it for identification. It's not us, is it? It's not the living woman. It's not me. So, somebody said, well, actually, it was something on a podcast, and I won't say who it was, but that if we join in with the fraud, because we've joined in using that personam in our ignorance, but ignorance is no defence of the law, of course, that's why these defences kind of don't work. But I'm like, surely that can't make sense, because if you had a little old granny who got missold, some double glazing off some con man, but she joins in with it because she thinks it's real, she's the victim of that fraud, isn't she? We're not. how can we join in with something that's complete deception? That's the very
Exactly, because
definition of the fraud in itself.
no. You've got to knowingly, willingly sign a contract,
Exactly. Yes.
and it has to be fully disclosed. The birth
Yeah, and it's not.
certificate is
Exactly.
never fully disclosed. This is why
Exactly.
it must be returned and cashed in. It's a bank account.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? And what we do now, we state through the theft and murder of our twin, the placenta, the closest blood DNA match in the world, because it's identical. You have now stolen and murdered my twin and created a fictional personam that you now claim through conversion that is me, because it has my DNA, which you stole from the beginning in fraud to perpetrate a fraud.
Yeah.
To conduct business of state by selling gilts and bonds and putting me into servitude compelled performance.
Yeah.
By presumption of obligation that I gave permission. Yeah. So now you've flipped the script. We flipped it completely. Oh, here, by the way, here's your phony license. I want my license back in English. Or are you denying me my rights to self-determination? I hate using ECHR, but it's the law. I have the right to self-determine. I'm not British, I'm English. Let's all start doing that, shall we? Get off the voters roll, because once you're off the voters roll, they can't charge you poll tax. They can't charge you anyway, because the 1992 Finance Act is for corporate buildings. So what have they done? By us registering our homes and not recording them, you've now become a business.
Yeah, and register is legal for those that don't know, and record is lawful.
Difference. And that's what they've done. They've converted England into registration. All corporate manifestations.
We have to say recording again, don't we? For people who are watching this who haven't watched other videos, you know, the cord, the umbilical cord, cord again.
Yeah, to
reconnect. To become whole. Wow.
Yeah.
I love that
this is what we have to do now. We literally tell the land registry, you've now committed fraud against me. I now want all my assets off of the registry and put either back onto the record of law or removed completely.
Yeah.
That's it. And once you issue that, and you issue that to the state registry and tell him that it's removed, that's it. Your vehicle to DVLA removed from state registration. This is private property. Unless the state's going to pay for it and maintain it, I am not renting my own asset.
Yeah.
And you are not to profitize from it, or I will charge you with profiteering.
Yeah.
The fraud is now discovered. It is up to the people what you do with it. There is no court in this land. There's no signatures on any of the paperwork. They're now even claiming they don't have to stamp anything.
Yeah.
Everything.
I mean, literally, they're literally, aren't they? It shows the complete corruption of it. They're literally just railroading and ignoring everything now. It's like they're not even bothering to put on a show anymore. It's like it's a good act, innit? That's what an act is, a good piece of theatre, and it's like the show's old. It's like, you know, it's game up, motherfuckers, as I say.
Yeah, well, it's now to the people. This is what we did, and this is what I did this for yesterday. Right? I did this to show the process in real time, in personal time, to show the fact that the courts have not done what it's supposed to do. Let's see if the courts are now going to uphold justice, remove Judge Curtis, and allow his bond to be extradited for everybody that turned up on that day for redress. Because once you breach one man's constitutional rights, you breach every man's constitutional rights. That is what is so brilliant about the Constitution.
Yeah.
Right?
Love a good maxim, I do.
Right? You cannot breach constitutional rights. They're the supreme laws of the land. But because they've now, by a legal conversion and by the council's own criminal prosecution barrister, so it's not even done by the CPS.
Yeah.
Because there's no Crown agents. So they're letting that now slide. We're going to let these Muppets now know the truth. It's all coming out. We've been bubbled, so we're going to try and grab as much as we can.
Yeah.
Right? It's disgusting. The void order is issued. It will be issued to that scumbag, the treasonous, treacherous man, fake Judge Curtis, who has not surrendered his oath or bond because he doesn't have them. And how do we know that? Because what's her name? Charlene Jones confirmed it 2 years ago in a Freedom of Information request. The courts no longer hold the judge's bonds.
Wow, yeah. I remember we covered that on previous episodes, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah, right. And we've had the paperwork up.
Yeah.
Where are the judges' bonds? They've gone because they're not judges anymore. They're not sworn under oath to the correct constitution anymore. They're there to uphold the government's policies, nothing more. The police only work on acts and statutes, nothing more. They've illegally converted it all into nonsense. The Parliament does not have the authority to conduct business across every walk of life. Hence the word life. So what they've done is they've breathed fictional life into corporations by calling them persons, personams, quasi-identities. Instead of corporation meaning dead legal fiction, they've now converted it into personam. You are the PCS, the person of significant control, which I also stated to that fucking barrister. She's not the PCS of the damn corporation. He went, so you're telling me I'm a corporation? I went, yes, you are, under the Companies Act. I said, would you want it? I said, it's here. Do you want it? No. So it's part of the evidence.
Yeah.
No, wouldn't take it.
No.
Would not take the evidence.
And the clerk of the court, was quite intimidated, I think, towards the end. But we were, obviously extremely polite, extremely calm, play the game,
Yep.
etc. You've got to be, haven't you? So, but I thought, you know what? The tables are turning, right? Your job day in, day out is to intimidate people, lie to them, deceive them, whether she's aware of that or not. So
she's profiteering from it. She's profiteering,
isn't it? Exactly.
Yep, it's unlucky. You have nowhere to go now because you are caught in the middle of the biggest deception and lie and fraud there has been perpetrated on the people in any country. Sovereignty has been removed by the dirtiest trick, by turning you all into persons, registering you as a corporation through your birth certificate, other identity, administrative fiction, and we now can speak to you on ourselves. And if you don't use our language, we will ignore you as it doesn't exist in our realm.
Yeah.
So they now work in one realm, the fiction realm, and if you don't like it, tough shit. What did Starmer say? There's the door. Well, I tell you what, Mr. Starmer, Here's your door, pal, because your corruption's now up.
Yeah.
You discovered it's all up. By imagining the death of the monarch, it is treason. And that is what you've done, Mr. Starmer. And the illegal conversion. Anybody who acts under an unconstitutional act must face the perils and consequences of their own actions. Natural common law. Well, here you go, Mr. Starmer. Wait till the nation gets a load of this and starts charging every minister, every politician now with treason by illegal conversion. The chief registrar is now up to his neck in it. It states in the book, the registrar must have confirmation that these people have been registered. States it, we've just read it out. Just read it out.
Yeah.
And these judges are committing illegal conversion as soon as you cross the door. They even get paid a bonus for you turning up.
Wow. I didn't know that.
They can't. We've wrote off, and I'm going to put it a full. There's going to be full updates on this. We wrote to the Admiralty, emailed them, asking if they'd given an Admiralty commission. They refused to reply.
Of course they did.
The High Court. All of them. I've covered every base, and I needed to do that to verify the judiciary is now sunk. It's sunk. They're not working under constitutional authority anymore. They are working under nothing more than private authority of Parliament's franchise, the corporation.
Yeah. And this episode, if you are watching it, please share it, because this is how to do it. You know, there's no point jumping up and down with your pants around your ankles. Unfortunately, this is what we need to be doing. These people need to be removed.
It's as simple as that. We now have a vote of no confidence in the government and in the judiciary. The judiciary has to go. It's as simple as that. They can no longer stand. They're all working from the foreign state of the inner city of London. They think that that gives them immunity.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't. They're working from a private temple to conduct business over people's rights in constitutional safeguards and protections and principles, for Christ's sake. The judiciary have no more principles. None. Parliament have no more principles. This will be forced over no matter who gets trampled.
Yeah.
We've seen it with people's houses being taken for council tax. Council tax is not lawful. It cannot be claimed against private property. But because you have now your house registered, it becomes a corporation. Remove it from the registrar. Let's start all, please, just doing this now. Simple tasks. Removal. You will remove my property. You have 28 days to comply.
And do we have a notice for that?
Yeah, I can do one. It'll be drafted up, love. It'll be on the Realm to the DVLA. Yeah. Remove my, I now want my English license back. I am not British. It has now come to me that that Parliament has now committed a fraud against me. I am not British. I want my English sovereignty and status reclaimed. Yeah. I am not allowing the illegal conversion. As British, you are a slave. As English, you have sovereignty.
Yeah, you are a slave, Neil.
Yes, you are under servitude. What do they come out with? You're under a social contract. So are you. And you've broken it by illegal conversion of putting all persons to the corporation so that you can interface with them and deceive them by fraud. Fraud vitiates everything. And that's what they cannot get away with.
Yeah.
As to Lord Denning, 1956. South Africa case. There's loads of them. Ben, I forgot what it is now. My head's that full. But 1956, fraud vitiates everything. Famous quote from it.
Yeah.
There's the South Africa company, something act is void. Any judgment that was done without judicial authority is void. Goes on your void order. Right? These are the simple things to void every order that comes through. Every order. Right? And you take it to the court and you make them stamp it.
Yeah.
Right? Because once you take 2 copies, one for them, one for you, it has to be returned. Right? So you take it in person. There you go. We had a case here yesterday. We had a case here last week. Bang. It's now void. You're served. Now want this stamped receipt, please, and return it. Once they stamp it, the case has disappeared. Right? They're trying now desperately not to do it. We've got a thing from the High Court, which I've just mentioned, from one of the senior masters there, that they're not stamping any of the void orders. Even though it is their right and they have to stamp the void order.
But they're not doing their jobs either, are they?
They're not doing the jobs either. We've proven that the stamps are bought, the black stamps are bought from the Royal Courts of Justice. We proved it.
Yeah.
This is all from the top down of commerce. There is no justice in Britain.
Yeah. And that's a lot for people to swallow, isn't it? But it's the truth, and people need to get rid of that dissonance with this fictional theatre, and that's all that's left, and the force that they have to make us comply. That's it.
The thing that they're doing now is they're running scared. 3 million people turned out for Tommy Robinson. There's going to be a mass march, hopefully tomorrow. I hope people are going down on Saturday. Yeah. To say, stuff the digital IDs, but all it is we've got enough ID. You're already slaves. Nobody can take your biometrics, but they're doing it in Europe. What? It's a breach of ECHR, your human rights.
Yeah.
They're literally, we are being run by shadow puppets. It is now, it's literally, let's go as one people and say no more. Here's your documents. We're no longer British, we're English. If you don't like that, tough. Under the international treaties, you cannot remove the man from his true status or nation. So we use that. By them illegally converting us through acts and statutes, whatever we used to use the Common Law Act, the Natural Common Law Act, acts and statutory and legislation and statutory rules cannot bind the man.
Yeah.
Right? We are the sovereign. We want our identity back. I'm English. I am not British. Take your paperwork, all of it. We're cashing it all in, and we now want our nationality back. We are the nation of England. Britain is nothing more than a fictional corporation.
Yeah.
Nothing more. And people better wake up to that fact.
Yeah.
Right? They better wake up to that fact that we are now in the middle of a corporation. Yeah. Nothing more, nothing less.
Yeah. And I think on that note, we'll leave it, won't we? So we will be back with more updates, more episodes. So please do stay tuned. There you have it. You know, it's not just theory, it's not politics, it's not protest, it's remedy. You know, we've been hijacked, and it's a criminal mafia of a de facto system, and it's shown its hand, hasn't it? And Grimsby proved that. You know, they know their time is up. That's why they shut the doors on us. They shifted the times, the goalposts, they silenced us. But, you know, we're here to not, you know, we're not here to beg. We're here to you know, walk that lawful path, and do it together, you know, not by violence, not by force, but, you know, in honour and in lawful jurisdiction to kind of take back what's rightfully ours as living men and women of this land. And the
what has been illegally it's been illegally usurped. Everything we hold dear as Englishmen and women has been usurped into a financial commercial corporation for the benefit of the state. Not us, for them. That's why they can get away with charging 78% tax on necessity amenities.
Yeah.
We shouldn't be paying for gas and electric. It's all double dipping. We all know the story. I'm not going into it again. But enough is enough now. We were quite happy paying tax, assisting, as long as it was going to benefit our communities, to benefit the old, to benefit the young, and to benefit me when I got to that age, that there was a nursing home if I needed it, that there was a school place for my children, that we had proper constitutional courts, and we had our safeguards and protections and the principle of law in place. That has all been removed, all of it. Yeah. And literally, I wanted everybody to show the demonstration of that, to ensure that they now can clearly see the corruption of the court firsthand in real time, and being witnessed by 20, 30 people. And I must put, just to put a caveat on this, I want to sincerely thank everybody that turned up. I know I didn't get time on the day. Obviously, it was very upsetting for a certain individual. And, you know, I had to deal with that mess, which, trust me, I dealt with for about 17 hours. And literally, the judge has now, and the like I said, I've been on the phone for 2 hours this morning. They've all been informed. The judge of that case is now and will be indicted lawfully through the Treason Act 1351, and the usurpation of the Constitution. In his own words, there is no constitution in my court.
Well, and on that bombshell, thank you again to everyone who did turn up to the court, and thank you all for watching. Please do share this. I'll edit some images and a video of Robin at the court onto this video if you want to stay tuned and watch that. But please do subscribe and follow us, and we'll keep you posted. Robin, thanks again.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care. Off we go.
Okay, guys, so this is a bit of an update. So we've come to Grimsby courthouse in Grimsby, obviously, to come and support Robin Hood in the case. So we're just stood outside now. So this is what's happened. They won't let us into the courtroom. There's about 15 of us that have turned up. The judge, with no sort of authority whatsoever, will not allow us into a public court, but we know that it's not a public court. We knew this was most likely going to be the outcome, really. So they've stopped Robin from going into the court and advocating for the case as well. So it's just a complete and utter corrupt shit show, as per. But, you know, it's boots on the ground at the end of the day, and that's what we need to show, and that's what's important. Because even though nothing happened in a sense today, and it will be followed up, we won't let this lie, but, you know, this is the kind of thing that puts them under the pressure to say that we know what the game is, and that the game's up. Would you like to say hello, Victoria? So we've got Victoria here with us.
Hello. Disappointing. Travelled all the way from Devon to be here to support, and to actually see that a public gallery is closed to the public in any hearing it just goes to show you can't just flick and change everything. You can't just do that. The people need to start understanding this. Challenge these people. Yeah.
And even though we've kind of not got the outcome that we wanted, it still goes to show how fictional and fraudulent that system is, and that these courts are not public courts, and that they are bar courts, and they just make up their own bullshit rules and just do what they want, basically.
Yeah. They've gone off to find out if it's a public gallery.
Yeah, exactly. So we've got... What can we do? But, you know, as we said, we won't stop, will we? Good night, God bless.
Undelivered documentation, which they've totally ignored, and basically said the Constitution does not reside in this court. There is no constitutional monarchy, which all courts must be. There is no imperial crown. And the CPR guy says there's no Bill of Rights. I gave him the Bill of Rights, the Magna Charta, still in force. Mm-hmm. No, we don't do that here. So, what do you mean we don't do that here? Right? That's exact words to me. We don't do that here. Not interested in that. I said, okay then, Archibald Maxims, 2025, there you go, it's all page numbers, all done. You've had all this.
we're sick and tired of being converted into a quasim. You're telling me I'm a corporation? Yeah, you are. It's under Companies Act 2006, Section 790LQ. All persons are corporations. All caps fiction. Archibald states in its own documentation, and it's the 2025 edition, Sweets and Maxwell's, they've had all this information. The state only issues persona identity to trap you into trust fraud. So they can access the trust in your name, which is now being offshored to the Isle of Man, which they've all had been documented to. And now what they've done is they've stopped. I don't know how many people are here. 20 people?
Yeah.
30 people?
Yeah.
Have turned up to support us today and bear witness to the criminality within these courts. And the judge has barred everybody out the court.
Yeah.
Because I've gone with common law maxims, natural maxims, and they've barred me. I've told them that I were not only a Mackenzie friend. I didn't say I was a Mackenzie friend. I said I'm representing her. It is a natural law that she can be represented by anybody.
Yeah.
No, you've got to be represented by a solicitor. Right? All solicitors are registered to the foreign state of the inner city of London through the SRA. And it states in their own handbook they cannot represent the just in rem, the natural person.
Wow.
States it in their own handbook. I've demonstrated this time and time again. This court and every court now in England is breaching not only our human rights, our civil rights, and our constitutional safeguards and protections by violating them and stating they don't exist. Archibald, it states sovereignty, 2025. Sweets and Maxwell's states sovereignty, right? Halsby's law, gone. Everything in England now works on corporation only, fiction creation, persona. Well, this court now and this judge, I've indicted for illegal conversion from a, action that they've done, a criminal action which they've done. They were issued them indictments at 7 o'clock this morning, and they've still continued this case, right, in fraud, right? They've taken my ex in on her own by force. We've all seen that. They will not let any public gallery in.
No.
Everybody can confirm that. 30 people, no, you're not allowed in. The judge does not want you in. Therefore, this is not a court of law, a court of du jour. This is a compelled performance court because you are a slave under administration. When I've gone in there and gone to the CPS, a legal fiction cannot bring claim or injury to man or woman. Natural maxim. Right?
Yeah.
Put them all in, they've all ignored them. They are only running off of acts and statutes. That's it. Because we now have all been converted into illegal personas or quasims. When you talk to them, he's like, I'm a barrister. I said, no, you're fucking not. I said, you're a foreign state jurisdiction barrister. Where are you registered to? He went, Gray's Inn. I said, where's Gray's Inn? Inner City of London, foreign state. Cannot practice law here without special licence or consent. Where is the consent? They've ignored everything and gone, we're going to bully you through in breach of human rights, ICCHR, IOCOPR, all international treaties, all international rules. UK was warned in 2024, and I've issued it, by the IOCPO-HR, human rights courts, knock it off, basically. They got warned again in 2004, issued. All of this has been completely ignored. I've come today with absolutely loads, and this is not even a tenth of what we've done. Not even a tenth. Now look at this. This document here that they've had. There you go. The Commonwealth Judges Association. The judge is a private corporation. Everything is run under corporate rule. Right, if you're not part of it, get out. And this is their fraudulent system that they've now forced upon us. Right, where's the other bits I want to show you? Right, and they've had this for 2 years, nearly 2 years now. Right. There you go. All the councils. that have been linked together. Duns numbers, everything. Right? It is a corporate fiction. Humberside Police Force. Corporate fiction.
You send me that.
Right. The Bill of Rights. All being issued. Clauses, everything. Case law, all totally ignored. Hey, love.
If they ignore what you present to them, that they're breaching your human rights just doing that.
Just doing that.
Yeah.
Because what it is, I mean, look at all these. I mean, this is what I want to get to. Right? There you go. This is issued to them. These are all their DUNS numbers. Right? All of them. All issued to the court, showing that we know the state of play. And they've ignored it. Completely ignored it. There's case law after case law after case law after case law. All in these documents. All totally ignored. Indictments issued, totally ignored. Right? There you go, look at that. North Lincolnshire Council. VAT number. States it's a business. Ignored. How does a corporation bring a man of flesh and blood to court? It cannot. Ignored.
Can I just say something about that? They don't put the VAT on the bill. The VAT registered the council, but they don't put it on the bill. And it should
Association of Police Chief Constables.
Wow.
Right? All corporate fictions. Every single one of them. Here you go. This is their DUNS numbers. More DUNS numbers, look. Everybody get a load of that. Right? This is every council building in Scunthorpe that is now... What is it? There you go. Pages of them. Absolutely pages of them. Right? There you go. Pages upon pages upon pages. I mean, there's just literally everything that we own has now been converted for them to sell, to pay the state debt. Everything. The nation, England, does not own a bean. We come under natural common law. Right? Here it is. Archibald 2025 treason maxims. Okay? To do an untreasonable, to do an unconstitutional act, the man who must stand under his own stand for his own peril and face the consequences. Right? Maximum law. You've got. I'll have to put my glasses on because I can't see now because I'm fuming now. Right? Right? Stating Sarah Blood's living flesh and blood sovereign woman. Ignored. Indictments. Claim. Maxims. Sovereign woman. All ignored. International Convert of Civil and Political Rights 1966 still in force. Declaration of Jurisdiction all ignored. Completely ignored by all these criminal courts because they've now illegally converted you into a personam or quasi jurisdiction. No man or woman is breathing anymore. You're all dead personams, i.e. your birth certificate, your driving licence, your passport needs to all go back. All of it.
So is that why they summon you?
Yep. It's to pay the summons, to pay the toll. Why do you have to plead guilty or not guilty? So they can create a guilt and sell it and access your trust. Oh, well, it's not your trust, it's in your name, but it's not yours. It was set up by the state for their benefit.
Well, this is done at birth, isn't it? This is done at birth. With the
Yes.
with the
Yeah,
registered.
do not register your children at all. Get off the voters' roll immediately, because that is the illegal conversion. You vote for these idiots. Well, the documentation states only state fictions vote.
Will this be taken to the higher courts?
Yes, it will. I'm going to take it personally.
Can you get to The Hague?
I'm going to get it to the international courts for definite. I've already issued it. Later on today, they will be receiving an act of treason indictment by illegal conversion. Right? The CPS guy was running about behind the scenes, absolutely fucking terrified. You all saw him running about up and down the fucking stairs.
Seen him speak to you earlier.
Right?
I scalded cats.
No, I'm not dealing with that. No, we don't deal with that.
He was flapping. He was
Right.
flapping up and down.
And then fucking running about, and then they've isolated somebody who knows absolutely nothing about anything and whipped it in there to force under compelled presumption, which is article under the 2010 Slavery Act, is compelled servitude, which is slavery. So the judge will be charged with the act of slavery, so will the CPS. They've all been issued indictments today, this morning at 7
Can we
o'clock.
name and shame the judge?
Just two, right?
What's the name?
If we can find out. I've already asked for his bond, and what you need to ask for is their oaths and bonds. The bond gives you jurisdiction and redress, right, for criminality. The oath makes sure that they're under constitutional oaths. They're not. They're under Commonwealth oaths, foreign state oaths, right? And they're standing in their own cause because they get paid, which is a violation of law.
No.
There is no more law in this country, none. And I asked for the seal of the court. It's on the back of the wall. And my comments were to him. I said, "You see that B&M sign there, don't you? That means fuck all to me. Fetch me the correct seal of this court." And he ran off. Is that not good enough for you? I went, no. This is when they've taken her.
Yeah.
By compelled performance, because in a single justice procedure they issued an arrest warrant and we caught them on it. So when we came to court last time, I argued the point, and then they changed. No, it's a criminal matter. How's it a criminal matter to own property, to put a fence up, to put a wall up?
Surely it's not.
And especially when you've sold them, so you no longer own them.
You don't want anything anyway, do you?
No, we don't. We know we all don't, but it's the illusion of ownership, innit?
But how can a legal fiction own a physical asset?
Well, that you asked them that, because this is what we've been asking for ages, right? They actually dropped the case in 2023, right? And then started again in 2024. But everything is so banged up now. We've been waiting 6 months to get records from Land Registry, so that when this case started, you cannot get a criminal offence for putting a gate up that's 6'6", putting a fence panel up that's 6 foot, and a wall that's 5 foot and 4 foot, because the wind blew it over and smashed it to pieces. So she's not built any of this, she's not done any of this. So, but they've now, because she's down on the land registry as the owner, not the company, right? They fetched her and not the company responsible, because they can't get anything out the company. Nothing.
Is the property in a trust?
Yes.
So there's a lot of other legislation that they've broken there.
Yeah, of course it is. It's trust fraud, it's everything. The land registry are fully aware it's in a trust. Told them 3 days ago. Right, again, told them 5 months ago. But nothing gets changed because the council will not allow it. The council are now running judge, jury and executioner. Yeah. The CPS works for the council. The police get licensed from the council. Yeah. And this is all registered by Lord Kilmore's letter 1960, when he wrote to Edward Heath in 1960 for the illegal conversion of England into a state to join EEC.
And we all know he was compromised.
Right, this is all goes back, and do you know what the try you're on now? It's the 1666 and 1707 trust. Because you are now dead, lost at sea, or presumed dead. They can't hear you, they can't see you in that court. Yeah. By illegal conversion. This is the fact that when you go in there, nothing you take in. This is a tenth of what they've had.
If your child's registered and before 7, can you claim it back?
Yes. Yeah, everybody, I recommend everybody now claims the children back, surrenders their birth certificate, driving licence, everything. Remove the documents from what is it, and remove yourself from the voters roll. Because once the Quasims can't vote, they lose. And it's all right, Graham Moore going in and, oh, we're going to prove electoral fraud, we're going to do this. It's all fraud. And you look up the fiat system, from 1933 is all fraud. It's fraud built on fraud. It's all deception. All of it. And this is why they state now you will own nothing and be happy. I don't see many of us being very happy. Right? So again, this is a violation of human rights. It's a violation of the Magna Charta, the Bill of Rights, and they banned me now from this court to represent them. In law, you can have any representation. They now want you to go for a bar guild solicitor, foreign state solicitor. Foreign state solicitor.
Ridiculous.
Or a barrister that's registered at Gray's Inn. Right? The SRA handbook tells you it. Look it up. I've sent it all into these muppets. Not one thing has stuck. Not one. And now they've just barred 30 people that I've already informed them are here to be the jury. Under the Juries Act. Not recognised. Because it has to be. Yes. Willfully, neglectfully, and everything else. This is the highest form of treason there is today. It's a breach of the 1701 Successions Act, imagining the death of the monarch. It's a breach of the 1701 Settlement Act. This is what they want to take off you. These are your rights, inalienable in stone. They cannot be removed. It states on all of them. This is in perpetuity for all time.
Yeah.
And I'm not one of those loons. Go look it up. Right? Go look it up. This is the travesty of any court now. We've got people wanting a court of record. That's not a court of record. That is nothing more than a bullying, treasonous court. And it will now be charged with treason tomorrow morning. And I will put the indictment up for everybody to find it.
Where can we find you, sir?
On the Realme of England.
Realm of England, yeah.
Yeah.
Is that on YouTube?
No, it's on the what is it? But I do with Carly Spell and a few others.
I'll make sure I include it in the video.
If you see Carly, she'll tell you everything.
Yeah.
And basically, that's what these courts now fear, is the people getting the wise to their con. And this is their con. They prey on the weak.
Has not the social contract been broken?
Well, this is what it is. What social contract?
Well, the social contract that we give permission to lord over us, don't they?
No. You see, this isn't it. It's the authority of the governed. It's not a social contract, right? But the social contract only works between the living and the living. It does not work between corporate fiction and corporate fiction. Personam quasim. Right? Simple as that. The judge is a cunt. Right? He's a criminal, treasonous cunt, and he will be found because I will take this now all the way. You will see the crowdfunding go now because this now goes. We have to make a line here now because banning the people from witnessing law is a criminal act. This is supposed to be a court de jure. They've been given every evidence of it. This is a sui juris, just natural, just in rem woman, flesh and blood. How does that become a personam?
Well, isn't justice supposed to be seen to be done?
It's not even being seen to be done now, is it? It is now just an absolute fraud.
That's their wording as well, seen to be done.
Yeah, it's fraud.
Yeah.
It's nothing but an outrage of fraud and disgust now. Right? Absolute fraud and disgust.
Well, thank you for all your time and effort on this one.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for your conversation.
Cheers, mate.